Today I'm going to show you how to deep clean the UWANT V500 vacuum cleaner. As you can see, I love this vacuum and use it all the time. And while these are super convenient with their self-emptying feature, they're not self-cleaning, and they still require regular maintenance to keep them running at their peak, just like every other vacuum does. Now, before you think this is going to be an intimidating project, all you need is a small Phillips head screwdriver to remove a total of 6 screws. There are some other cleaning tools that will really come in handy, but breaking this down only requires unscrewing 6 small screws. Everything else just either pulls or snaps apart. Now, some quick pointers before we get started. The first one is you want to be gentle when breaking this down. If it doesn't move or come out easily, there's a good chance it's not supposed to. And I'll repeat this a few times as well, but after we wash everything, all of the pieces need at least 24 to 48 hours to dry, and this is incredibly important. You can't have any dust or particles getting stuck to water droplets throughout this vacuum. It will get dirty and clogged and it will begin to smell. So letting it dry completely is absolutely critical. Don't go through these steps if you need the vacuum soon. We'll start by detaching the floor head from the wand and then pressing this button on the bottom of the floor head to release the roller. Removing the roller is simple, just gently lift it up a little bit and then pull it to the right. You can see the hair and dust that has accumulated. We'll be getting rid of all this so that the wheels and the roller rolls much better, but we won't be soaking this floor head. Since it has the light at the end of it, you don't want to submerge this one. So keep that in mind that we'll just be wiping this clean and using a variety of tools to get it back into optimal shape. Next, remove the canister from the motor by pressing this button here and simultaneously pulling down. It should come off pretty easily. Remove the paper filter that I have completely neglected and pull out the Cyclone assembly found here. There's a little handle that allows you to pull this basket out as well. I didn't use it, but just know that this is meant to be pulled out, and it even comes with a little handle to do so. If you turn the canister upside down, you'll see how dirty this dust flap is. And this can actually prevent your flap from closing if it gets too dirty. So we'll be getting into these hinges and in here as well to make sure that this is closing as it should be. Now heading back to the Cyclone assembly, you can go ahead and dump this out. I'm going to try to remove as much of this dust and debris as possible before I wash it, just to prevent it from getting too caked on or the potential to have it too caked on. Next, let's use our screwdriver to remove the bottom of this canister. The screws are so dusted over that it's helpful to pick the dust out of the screws so you don't strip the screws. It was actually getting hard to get in there with the screwdrivers, so I needed to pull some out of this last one. But then you can take this lid off and see just how nasty it is for you. I have 2 kids and a dog, so mine is quite filthy. Next, slide the metal filter straight off. Again, don't pull too hard. This should just pull off pretty easily. Now at the beginning I mentioned only needing to remove 6 screws, and we just removed 3 of them. The remaining 3 are down inside of this Cyclone assembly. I do my best to tilt it so that you can see it, but they are pretty easy to get out compared to the Dysons actually. The Dysons are virtually impossible. And so even though they're down embedded a little bit in there, they are actually quite easy compared to other really popular models. So unscrew those, and again you can see just how caked over this thing is. We're going to wash these with dish soap and water. These can be submerged because there isn't any electronic parts to it, so that's the good news. Go ahead and also remove this seal ring. And then once you've got that out, this little piece here in the middle, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, this piece of the Cyclone assembly comes loose. It just pulls directly out once you've got those 3 screws out. And it may come out all the way, but I couldn't figure it out. And again, I don't try to pry or pull anything too hard, so I just left it loose because I was still able to clean it. So we'll go ahead and put it in the bin to wash just like that. Next is the paper filter that this comes with. I don't really recommend washing paper filters but in this case, it's the only one I have, and it's so filthy that it really needs it. It is especially important to wait for this paper filter to dry before you put it back in your vacuum. Otherwise, this is the number one thing that's going to make your vacuum smell and get really dusty. All of that dust that gets pulled up through there is just going to get stuck in the moisture, and that's going to get so mildewy and so nasty real quick. So of all the parts that you let dry, this one needs to be the one that is 100% dry. I start by scraping everything out. You can use a toothbrush. I use a paintbrush, a small paintbrush at one point. This is a paper filter, so again, you just have to be gentle to get all of this dust out. It is probably just as economical to replace this filter than it is to actually clean it and spend the time cleaning it that I'm doing. However, this is a video about cleaning it, not just replacing parts. So I'll put a link to a replacement filter if yours looks just like this, but it really was pretty simple to clean, and we're gonna put that in the bin to wash along with the entire canister. And that's what we've got left over from pretty much just pulling everything apart. Let's go ahead and start washing it. The main tool that I was using earlier is this pick set from Arrow. It is incredible, and it was incredibly handy, as you can see, just from getting seal rings loose and from picking out dust from hard to reach places. So I highly recommend any kind of set like that. I have the screws set aside in a small jar. I am going to wash these as well because I want the dust particles off of them. But I fill up a little bowl here with some dish soap and hot water, and we're gonna get to rinsing. The first thing I do is just get the first layer of dirt and dust off of here. There's nothing really specific outside of getting the majority of it off. You can wipe this seal ring clean. It's pretty easy to do. And then here's the canister. I'm just going to soak this and use the pipe cleaner as well as a toothbrush to get in there and really get any of the dirt and dust out. Some of the parts still move around a little bit in this canister, so you can push those up and down to get any stuck debris out. And again, here's the paper filter. I used a small pick on this pick set to get the dirt and debris out from underneath those corners. And this took a little bit of time and it was a little tedious. However, again, I didn't have a replacement one, so cleaning this one the best I can is the only option that I have. So I pull as much dust and debris out of there. I get it as clean as I possibly can without tearing any of the papers inside. And after everything, I think it came out looking pretty good. Now, I did set my filter outside in the Florida sun to dry for maybe 4 to 6 hours. I don't recommend doing that with any of the other parts because the sun can damage it. It can crack some of those seal rings or make something shrink or just cause some of the plastics to react in a way that's not going to be beneficial for it. So the filter, again, because of its importance for how dry it is, was the only thing that I stuck outside for a few hours in the sun. Washed all of the screws and made sure not to drop them down the sink. And then came the roller. I simply rinsed it with warm water and dish soap and then scrubbed all of the little bristles off and clean. Then we're gonna dry that and set it aside as well. I also used the toothbrush and the pick to get the hair that's wrapped around the sides of it off. That was very satisfying to get out, and I'm really happy that this thing's gonna be spinning a little bit better. Next came the floor head, and again, you can see just how caked on this dust is. So I knock a lot of this loose. I use the pick to get the hairs out as well as a lot of the dust knocked off. Then I use my child's paintbrush to scrape as much off, kind of like an archaeologist here. And then that wasn't strong enough, so I moved to the toothbrush. I used some Lysol spray to loosen this dirt up as well. Again, being very careful not to soak or douse the floor head too much because of the light that comes with it. So I scrubbed that as best as I can. I used paper towels, again, the toothbrush, and overall, after everything, there's a couple scratches on it that I couldn't get rid of, or obviously not gonna buff out, but it came out looking pretty good. And then the neck of this is crinkled, so it's a little bit of a pain to clean. However, I did run a little bit of water through this neck just because I knew that it was going to flush it out and there's nothing electrical inside of that neck. I made sure all of the running water fell into the sink and wasn't hitting any other part of the floor head. So the toothbrush and shoving paper towels up there and then pulling them through the other side is really what got this clean. The pipe cleaner didn't do a whole lot. It just wasn't strong enough or large enough to bend through the sides to get into the neck and some of the creases here. And then for the wand, I did the same thing. I shoved a lot of paper towels from one end to the other to clean inside of the tube, and then I used the toothbrush on the outer edges and in the outer part of it to get all of the dust off at the connections and where this thing clicks into both the vacuum and the floor head. Again, not perfect, but came out looking really good and really clean. And then at the motor, the vacuum itself, there's one more opening here that you can shove some paper towels in, or I actually have UWANT's wet dry vacuum, and it comes with a really nice cleaning tool, so I used that in combination with, again, toothbrushes and paper towels to get inside of there and get as much of the dirt and debris off as possible. And that's what the floor head came back looking like. That's what the roller came back looking like. As you can see, 100 times better than what it was. And that's it for the cleaning. Again, be very gentle, but now it's time to put this thing back together. We'll start with the floor head and just putting the roller back in, slide one end back and then press down on the other, simply reverse engineering how you got here. And then you can test it to make sure that it works by opening it and closing it and just making sure that it pops out like it should. Next, I put the seal ring around the Cyclone assembly here, and I reattached the 3 screws. There are 2 sizes of screws. There's some larger ones and smaller ones. The smaller ones are what go inside of that Cyclone assembly. Attach the 3, that should be pretty easy. And you're going to put the metal screen or the metal filter back on over that, and then reattach the lid with the only remaining 3 screws. Slide that back into the canister and put the paper filter right on top. Everything is sized out accordingly, which is really nice, and it's really easy to figure out how everything goes back in. The flaps are looking really nice. You want to make sure that they are opening and closing correctly, and then you'll simply slide it back into the motor part there. Attach the wand, attach the floor head or whatever other attachment that you're going to be using, and this thing is ready to go. Put it back on the charger to make sure everything moves and works correctly and that it's charging correctly, and you're all set. Hope this was helpful. Reach out anytime with questions or concerns, and have a great day.